Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 23.
Okay, so King Wen gets back to his land, Shiki. He's just come back from being unfairly imprisoned in a place called Yuli, and his return isn't just, the king is back. It kicks off a whole new way of thinking about how to rule. So what's the very first thing he does? What project does he start? And what does it tell us about him?
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is that King Wen wasn't just about power for power's sake. Not at all. He was focused on building a kind of moral authority, something really rooted in the well-being of his people. And so his first big project, it's the Lingtai, the spiritual tower.
The spiritual tower.
Yeah, and it wasn't some vanity project. He was genuinely worried about his people. They've been suffering from floods and other disasters quite a bit. So he saw the Lingtai as a place to, watch the stars, observe the weather, maybe predict misfortunes, help people prepare.
Okay, that makes sense. Practical, but with a spiritual dimension.
Exactly. But the way he built it, that's the revolutionary part. See, back then, rulers would just force people to work on these big projects. Forced labor was standard.
Wow.
But King Wen, he makes this announcement that just floors everyone. He says he'll pay the workers 1 kina a day, and he makes it crystal clear. Participation is totally voluntary.
Wow. Okay, wait. He's offering to pay them when he could just order them.
Precisely. It was completely unheard of. It wasn't just being nice. It was this huge statement about respecting people, their agency. It was a rejection of that whole authoritarian way of doing things.
That really is a massive shift. So how did the people react? I mean, faced with this kind of offer from their king?
Oh, the reaction was just overwhelming. It really showed how much they already respected him. They were overjoyed, incredibly grateful. They actually said things like, the great king's benevolence is like heaven. It cannot be repaid.
So they didn't just sign up.
They didn't just sign up. They insisted on working for free. They basically said they'd work themselves to the bone for him, gladly, until their livers and brains were smeared on the ground. That kind of intense language. And because everyone was so enthusiastic, so motivated, the Lingtai was finished in less than 10 days. Just incredibly.
Less than 10 days. That's astonishing. And the tower itself, it wasn't just bricks and mortar, was it? There was more to it, symbolically.
Oh, absolutely. The Lingtai was packed with meaning. It wasn't just a building. It was like a statement about aligning the kingdom with the cosmos, with the natural order. It was 2 Jiang high, and its design incorporated all these deep principles, like the 3 powers, that's heaven, earth, and man.
Okay.
And things like yin and yang for cosmic balance, the 8 trigrams, those ancient symbols for divination and understanding nature. It even included the 9 palaces and symbols of the dragon and tiger. Essentially, it was designed as a kind of microcosm of the universe.
So harmonizing everything, bringing good fortune, good weather.
That was the idea. Harmonize the kingdom with the cosmos. And there's this really powerful line in the text. Today's Lingtai surpasses Lutai.
Lutai, that rings a bell. That was King Zu's, right? The tyrant.
Exactly. The infamous Lutai, King Zu's incredibly lavish palace built with brutal, oppressive forced labor. So comparing the Lingtai to the Lutai was a direct hit. It wasn't just our tower is better. It was saying our way is better. Our leadership, built on respect and popular will, is superior to your tyranny.
That's wow.
Yeah.
It's like political theory built into architecture.
You could almost say it's like an early form of social contract theory, centuries ahead of its time. He understood that real power, legitimate power, comes from the people's consent and well-being, not just divine right or force.
That really deepens the significance. But okay, the Lingtai is built, it's magnificent, it's symbolic, yet King Wen felt something was missing, like the picture wasn't quite complete.
That's right. He felt that to truly achieve this perfect harmony, this idea of water and fire intersecting and perfect yin-yang harmony, something else was needed. He envisioned a marsh located right below the tower.
A marsh.
Yeah.
Okay, but didn't he just finish this huge project? Was he worried about asking his people for more work?
He absolutely was. That's the thing about King Wen. Even after this huge success built on volunteer labor, his first thought is, am I burdening my people again? It really shows his character, doesn't it?
It really does. So he hesitated. How did his advisors respond? And what happened when they actually started digging this marsh?
Well, his key minister, San Yisheng, stepped in. He basically reassured the king, saying, look, digging a marsh, that's way easier than building the tower. The people will be happy to do it. And he was right. The people volunteered again, totally eager. They trusted him. They'd seen his fairness. But then as they were digging, they found something.
Oh, what'd they find?
A set of old human bones. Withered bones. And the workers, probably not thinking much of it, sort of tossed them aside.
Oh, dear. Just discarded them. How did King Wen react when he saw that?
His reaction was instantaneous and
Hmm.
profound. He immediately ordered the workers to stop, to carefully gather the bones. He had them placed respectfully in a box, and then commanded they be buried properly in a high place.
He took responsibility for them.
Completely. He actually expressed guilt. He said something like, "How could I, by digging this marsh, disturb these bones? This is truly my fault." Think about that. Guilt over disturbing forgotten remains.
That's extraordinary. Compassion for someone long dead, someone totally unknown.
Exactly. And this act, the simple act of deep respect for the dead, it just resonated powerfully with everyone watching.
How did the people interpret this? What did they say?
They were deeply moved. They started saying things like, "Look at our king, such saintly virtue, his grace reaches even withered bones." And then the crucial line, "How much more will we, his living people, benefit from his kindness?" They even declared, "The people of Shiki have gained a parent."
Wow. Gained a parent. That's not just political loyalty, that's love.
It really is. It's a bond forged by genuine empathy, not just laws or taxes. It shows how that kind of deep-seated virtue creates a connection that commands can't.
Incredible. Okay, so the Ling Tai is complete, the marsh is dug, the bones are respectfully buried, everything's in harmony. King Wen decides to spend the night there, on the tower, and then something happens, a dream.
Yes, a very vivid, a very startling dream. It's the third watch, so around midnight. He dreams of this incredible creature, a white-headed winged tiger. Imagine that, a tiger already powerful but with wings, and it's pouncing right at his tent.
Yikes. That sounds more like a nightmare.
He certainly thought so. He woke up absolutely terrified, drenched in sweat. The image just seared into his mind.
So what does he do? He must have been deeply troubled.
He was. The next morning, he immediately calls for San Yisheng, his trusted minister, the one who reassured him about the marsh. He recounts the whole dream, clearly shaken, and asks, "What on earth does this mean?"
And San Yisheng, what's his take? Is it a bad omen?
Quite the opposite. San Yisheng is actually thrilled. He declares it a great auspicious sign, a really good omen.
Wait, a winged tiger pouncing at you is a good sign. How does he figure that?
Well, San Yisheng interprets the winged tiger, not literally but symbolically. He says it's actually representing a flying bear.
A flying bear. Okay, that's less immediately scary, I guess. What's that mean?
The flying bear, Fekshang, is a known symbol in their lore. It signifies that King Wen is destined to find an incredibly important advisor. A pillar of the state minister, he calls him, a great sage. Someone on the level of legendary figures like Feng Hao, who advised the mythical Yellow Emperor, or Yi Yin, who was crucial to the founding of the Shang dynasty.
Ah, so the dream isn't a threat, it's a promise of finding this essential advisor he needs.
Exactly. It's divine guidance. And San Yisheng even points to history.
There's a precedent.
Yes. He reminds King Wen of King Gaozong of the Shang dynasty. He apparently also dreamed of a flying bear and soon after found his incredibly wise minister, Fu Yu. So it's like history repeating itself, a recognized cosmic sign.
Okay, that adds a lot of weight. Anything else in the dream?
There was also firelight mentioned in the dream. San Yisheng interprets that as symbolizing the forging of metal, like making a great weapon or instrument. He links this to the rise of King Wen's own dynasty, the Zhou. He basically says this is a huge sign that the Zhou dynasty is destined to rise.
So the dream confirms his destiny, points towards finding a key person, and predicts the rise of his dynasty. That's quite a dream.
It's a complete package, really, a divine roadmap. King Wen accepts this interpretation. He now knows he needs to find this flying bear, this great sage, even though he has no idea who or where this person might be yet.
A divine roadmap indeed. Okay, so the king has his mission, his fated advisor, symbolized by a flying bear. Now let's shift focus completely, because while all this is happening at the court, somewhere else entirely, our destined sage is, well, he's doing his own thing, a very different thing.
That's right. We cut to Jiang Ziya. He's had quite a past himself, left the capital charge, used some kind of earth magic, to escape or save people.
Earth magic, like tunneling through the ground?
Something like that, yeah. Pretty mystical stuff. But now he's living this very quiet, secluded life at a place called Pengxi, right by the Wei River. And his whole approach is about patience, meditation, waiting, and fishing. But not like any fishing you've probably seen.
Right, this is the famous part, isn't it? His fishing technique. He's not exactly trying to catch dinner.
Not in the slightest. The crucial detail. He fishes with a straight hook. No curve, no barb.
A straight hook. How would you catch anything with that?
You wouldn't, and that's the point. He doesn't care about catching fish. He says his real goal is to fish for a king or a marquis.
Okay.
There's this wonderful little verse where he explains it. Take from the straight, not seek from the crooked, not for the splendid fish, only to fish for king and marquis.
Wow. So he's literally fishing for destiny, using a method that guarantees he won't catch anything but destiny.
That's the interpretation, yes. This is a bold statement of integrity and patience, isn't it? He's saying, I won't compromise, I won't use tricks, I'm waiting for the right person, the right purpose, and I'll do it my way.
It really paints a picture of someone absolutely sure of their path, willing to wait however long it takes.
Exactly. That straight hook, it's pure symbolism. It reflects his character upright, unwilling to bend his principles for small gains. There's another verse that sums it up. Short rod, long line, guarding Panksy. Who knows this secret? Only fishing for the current king and minister, never intending for fish in the water. He knows what he's waiting for.
Incredible patience. So there he is, our sage by the river, straight hook in the water, waiting for a king, and then someone just stumbles upon him.
Precisely. And this encounter is just dripping with irony. Along comes this character named Wu Ji. He's a woodcutter, seemingly carefree, singing a song about how great his simple life is compared to the hassles of being an official.
A complete opposite to Jiang Ziya's quiet intensity.
Totally. And Wu Ji sees Jiang Ziya and actually references the famous fishermen and woodcutters dialogue. You know, that old trope about two wise men from different backgrounds sharing wisdom?
Oh, the irony is already starting, so they start talking.
They do. And Jiang Ziya introduces himself. He gives his name, and crucially, he includes his Taoist name.
Let me guess.
You got it. He says his name is Fekshang.
Flying Bear. The exact name from the king's dream.
The very one. But Wu Ji, the woodcutter, hears this grand name, Flying Bear, coming from this old guy sitting there with a useless-looking straight fishing hook.
And he just laughs.
He bursts out laughing. He thinks it's completely ridiculous, totally presumptuous. He mocks the straight hook, calls Ziya foolish. The term is shenong, meaning like your wisdom seems pretty dumb, and basically says his name, Fekshang, does not match his reality.
Oh, man. The dramatic irony is painful. The very sign the king is desperately searching for is being openly mocked by a random woodcutter.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It really makes you think, like you said earlier, how often do we dismiss people because they don't look the part?
Yeah.
Or their methods seem strange?
So true. How does Jiang Ziya handle being called a fool and basically accused of false advertising with his name?
He's completely unfazed, calm as ever. He just defends his fishing method again, repeats that he's fishing for a king. But Wu Ji isn't having it. He keeps mocking him, even makes fun of his appearance, saying he looks more like a live monkey than someone destined to meet royalty.
A live monkey? Ouch.
Yeah, pretty harsh. But then the tables turn. Jiang Ziya looks closely at Wu Ji.
Oh, what does he do?
He doesn't argue about the monkey comment. Instead, he just looks at Wu Ji's face and delivers this incredibly specific, out-of-the-blue prediction. He says, your left eye is blue, your right eye is red. Today, you will enter the city and kill someone.
Whoa, where did that come from? Left eye blue, right eye red?
Yeah.
Kill someone? That's chilling.
It's completely startling. And Wu Ji is, as you'd expect, furious. He accuses Jiang Ziya of having a poisonous mouth, just spewing baseless insults and curses.
Understandable reaction, I guess?
Totally. But this whole exchange, it's brilliant. You see the clash of personalities, the massive irony around the name Flying Bear, but you also get this sudden, sharp glimpse of Jiang Ziya's real power, his prophetic insight. It's hidden beneath that unassuming exterior, completely missed by the mocking woodcutter.
Just a hard-working woodcutter.
Just trying to make a living.
Exactly. He's heading into the city, South Gate, shoulders piled high with firewood for sale. And the text really emphasizes how narrow these streets are.
Which is important, setup-wise. It makes you feel like something could happen. An accident waiting to happen, almost.
Precisely. It perfectly sets the stage for, well, disruption.
And disruption arrives big time.
It does. So Woody's trying to maneuver his load, and suddenly, this royal procession shows up. It's King Wen himself. It's the ruler, yeah. On his way to the Lengtai, this important spiritual platform, for a ritual. He's going to occupy and verify signs of disaster or auspiciousness. A big deal for a king.
Definitely. A crucial act of governance back then.
You could practically hear the guards shouting, yeah, His Majesty the King is here, clear the way. The crowd splits, people scramble.
And Wu Ji gets caught up in it.
He does. Trying to shift his heavy bundle, disaster strikes. His carrying pole, it's described as sharp and heavy, it loses balance, swings out.
And hits someone.
Hits Wang Xiang, one of the gate guards, kills him. Instantly. just like that.
Wow. The suddenness is really stark even in an old story like this.
It is. Onlookers cry out, Wuji is grabbed immediately, dragged before King Wen.
And you can imagine Wuji's panic. His plea isn't just save me, it's about the nature of the act itself, right?
Exactly. Wuji, completely distraught, pleads his case. He keeps saying to King Wen it was an accident. An accidental injury, he calls it. No intent.
He wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
But King Wen's decree is firm. He says, Wuji has killed Wang Xiang, and by rights, he should pay with his life. Standard justice, you might think.
But then,
This is where Shiki's justice system gets, well, extraordinary. King Wen draws a prison on the ground. That's Wadiwei law.
right there at the South Gate.
Right there. And then he sets up Wood as an officer. Shu Nueli.
Yeah.
And that's it. Wuji's confined to this invisible prison.
Okay, this is just fascinating. Because we know other places, like Ziya, had actual physical prisons, stone walls, guards.
Right.
But here, a line in the dirt, guarded by a piece of wood. How could that possibly work? What gives it power?
That's the million-dollar question, and the text gives this incredible answer. It worked because of King Wen's pre-heaven calculations. Shanqinshu.
Okay, explain that a bit.
Well, the belief was that King Wen could infallibly predict fate. He could foresee everything, every misfortune, every bit of good luck.
Everything.
So people just wouldn't dare escape. They knew King Wen would figure out where they went, he'd find them, and they'd face double the punishment.
Ah, so it's not about walls at all.
No, it's about this unshakable belief in his, spiritual power and his foresight. Psychological confinement.
Exactly. That speaks to a level of moral authority, a collective trust that's honestly hard to imagine today.
It really is.
King Wen's reputation for being infallible was so strong that a simple line on the ground became more effective than any actual prison. Brilliant, really. Governance through perceived spiritual power.
Totally different from just physical force. You can feel the weight of that belief system. So poor Wuji is stuck inside these invisible lines for 3 miserable days.
But here's the thing. He's not just crying for himself.
No, his real agony is for someone else.
Yes, he's consumed with grief for his elderly mother. She's over 70. The story makes it clear, no siblings, no wife. She depends completely on him.
Utterly dependent.
And his biggest fear, the thing tearing him apart, is that if he dies, she'll become a ghost in the ditch, which is just this horrifying image of someone starving, unburied, alone. It's a powerful term, and it highlights that deep, deep value placed on filial piety in ancient China.
Absolutely. It's more than just duty, isn't it? It's like this fundamental responsibility that's even bigger than saving your own skin.
It frames his whole tragedy. It's not just his life, it's her survival, too.
Yeah.
Makes his despair hit harder.
It's incredibly moving.
Yeah.
So as Wuji is weeping there in his dirt prison, along comes San Yisheng.
A high-ranking official.
Right. And he's moved by Wuji's crying, asking what's wrong. Wuji tells him everything except his fate, but pleads about his mother, stressing again it was an accident.
And this brings up that question again, right? Intent versus consequence.
Yeah.
How much should the accident part matter?
Yeah.
San Yisheng's reaction is key here. He doesn't just feel pity. He seems to understand the complexity. He sees the accidental nature, and critically, he sees the devastating impact on this isolated old woman.
He gets it. It's a real moment of compassion. And he decides, okay, I'm going to King Wen.
That takes courage.
It does. He proposes this plan. Let Wuji go home temporarily, just long enough to sort things out for his mother, get her clothes, arrange for a coffin eventually, make sure she has food. Then he'll come back for his punishment.
A temporary release based on filial duty.
And King Wen, remarkably, hears San Yisheng out and agrees. He lets Wuji go.
Wow.
The text even throws in a little poem here summarizing it. King Wen exited the city to test the spirit platform. Wuji carrying firewood brought disaster. Wang Jiang died under the sharp pole. Jiang Ziya's fate at 80 was yet to come.
Ah, that last line. A little foreshadowing.
Totally. A deliberate wink from the storyteller, hinting that Wuji's story is about to connect with something much bigger.
And King Wen's decision, it's quite something. It shows his justice system, while seemingly rigid because of his foresight, could also be merciful. It understood the human element, the social bonds.
It wasn't just cold calculation.
Right. It's about community well-being, too.
So imagine Wuji racing home. His poor mother, the text says, had been waiting by the door, hadn't slept, worried sick he'd been attacked by tigers and wolves in the mountains.
Just agonizing for her.
She's overjoyed to see him, naturally. But then Wuji, through his tears, has to explain everything. The accident, the ground prison, the temporary release to sort out her affairs.
Oh, that must have been brutal.
He cries out, "Mother, your raising me was useless." Just heartbreaking, and his mother just clutches him, devastated. How could this happen to her loyal and honest, her dutiful and filial son? She feels like she can't live if he's gone.
It's such a raw scene. It really drives home how central that parent-child bond was. Her grief isn't just for him, it's for the shattering of that connection and the terror of being left utterly alone.
Yeah, terrifying prospect back then.
Absolutely.
But amidst all this despair, Wuji remembers something odd that happened earlier.
The plot thickens.
He recalls meeting this old man by a stream at a place called Panxi, and the old man was fishing, but in a really weird way. He was using a straight hook, like basically a needle, and no bait.
Okay, that's definitely not normal fishing.
Right, so Wuji, being a practical woodcutter, was just baffled. He actually mocked the old guy, asked him, "Why don't you bend the hook? Or use some smelly bait?" I mean, this is a fair question.
From a practical standpoint, yes. But that strange method immediately flags this old man as different. He's not just fishing for fish, is he? It feels symbolic.
Exactly. It signals he's operating on another level. And the old man's reply to Wuji's mockery was incredibly profound. He says, "Better to take from the straight, not to seek from the bent. Not for scaled fish, but to fish for kings and nobles."
Wow. Powerful stuff.
Very. But Wuji, the down-to-earth woodcutter, he just laughed, called the old man a live monkey, and said he didn't look like any king or noble.
Ouch. Probably not the smartest thing to say.
Definitely not, especially given who this old man turns out to be.
Yeah.
And that disrespect, well, it led to something chilling. A direct, chilling prophecy. The old man shot back, "I look at your face, and it's not good either."
Uh-oh.
Wuji naturally asks, "How am I not good?" And then the old man lays it out, specific and terrifying. "Your left eye is blue, your right eye is red. Today you will certainly kill someone, absolutely."
Chilling is right. The detail about the eyes, the certainty.
So now, flash forward. Wuji is telling his mother this story, reliving that conversation. And the penny drops. Hard.
He realizes
the old man's prediction came true. To the letter, he had certainly killed Wang Shang that day. The realization must have been ice cold.
Especially since he dismissed the words at the time.
Right. He thought the old man was just being poisonous, detestable, just spiteful words because Wuji mocked him.
It's that classic moment where words you ignored come back with devastating weight, and the eye color detail that suggests physiognomy, right? Reading fate in faces marks the old man as extraordinary.
Definitely someone with special knowledge.
Yeah.
So his mother listens intently, and she asks the crucial question. What was the old man's name?
Smart woman.
Wuji tells her. His surname is Jiang, given name Shang, courtesy name Ziya, Taoist name Fixyong Flying Bear. He even admits he laughed at the Taoist name, Flying Bear, and thinks that's what really provoked the harsh words.
But the mother, she sees past the insult, past the strangeness.
Exactly. This is where her wisdom shines. She doesn't just hear about a weird, maybe spiteful old fisherman. She hears foresight. Xian Jian Jimin.
She gets it immediately. Her intuition is amazing.
She instantly grasps this isn't just some random encounter. This guy knows things. Maybe he's connected to, well, destiny itself.
She sees the significance when Wuji didn't.
And she gives Wuji a very clear, very firm instruction. She says, "My son, this old man is skilled in physiognomy. Perhaps he has foresight. You must go back and ask him to save you. This old man must be a high-level person."
A direct command, born from insight.
And Wuji, despite having laughed at the guy, despite thinking his words were poison, he obeys his mother instantly. Filial piety again. He immediately prepares to go back to Panxi to find Jiang Ziya.